Well, I would certainly hate to be somebody that made a big deal about the Ninja Kids using AI in their production, considering Super Sentai is doing it now too. And that means it's time for the Cider Was Right dance.
Screw you! Super Sentai does it too! Does it too! Yeah! Buddy, screw you! Screw you! Screw you! Rage about the Ninja Kids! Rage about the kids! Now you gotta zip those flapping lips! Ha 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 I'm having a laugh 'cause you're an ass and everyone can see that you've got no morality. Screw you. Screw you. Does it too? Yeah. Buddy, screw you. Screw you. Now you gotta zip those flapping lips.
So there were quite a few people that decided it was their duty to go out into the world and let everybody know that the Ninja Kids had destroyed Power Rangers. That's right, 15 seconds of AI VFX footage in that trailer that's not 15 seconds long apparently obliterated the franchise. Not Hasbro's actions or Neo Saban's actions or even Disney's actions. Nope. It was some kids and their long-running YouTube series using AI for VFX, brief VFX, by the way. But as you can see, it just kept coming, pouring out. And so the issue that we have here is that these folks decided, yes, we are so righteous, we are so true, and we are going to cancel these kids for using AI. They should know better. You know, you had characters like this. You had Etsy come out here. Este, I think I said it right. Este. He comes out, and of course, he's echoing Deoxy, and we'll get into Deoxy in a minute. He's echoing Deoxy and saying, oh, there's no excuses for AI. Somehow I think there's going to be excuses now. This is from the latest episode of Gozyuger. That's right. This is episode 35? I think it's 35. This is episode 35, I think. It's from episode 35. And there they are. Those are generated by ChatGPT. I would know. I work with AI every day. So there you go. You could tell right here on that one. But moreover, you can tell right here on this one. The gun is firing from the wrong place. And that's also like a really, really brief ripoff of Tetsujin there, you know, Gigantor, for those of us in America. It's Gigantor. That's Tetsujin. And then as you can see right here, they added a clay shingle roof to a Meiji era a building in Japan. South American clay shingle roof. I don't know, maybe. I doubt it, but I guarantee you the Japanese know where guns fire from. You know? Strange that the barrel looks like a Dixie cup, too. Like it's kind of like folded back or something like that. I don't know. Did she circumcise her gun? Maybe that's what the problem is. She circumcised her gun. Now the bullets come out the wrong hole. Is that what I'm to understand from this? Oh, no, it is the use of AI. Because we find out from the monster designer this. This is Tamotsu Shinohara, okay? Now, he stepped down from this position. I can't find any information where he was fired. And we'll discuss that as we go through his messages here. And it says, since it was stated clearly last week, I'll assume that it's now lifted the embargo and confess that I use generative AI for all of the designs related to the Gozyuger Bryden. That's the bad guys in Gozyuger, okay? And then he was in charge of. Of course, they're not just generated, but most of them, most of the ideas are extracted from them or associated or recalled, okay? Now, among those is Fire Candle. Now, I've talked to you guys about this character before. I really enjoy this character. The actor, the design, just the entire attitude of this character has been a joyride. He's a great character. He was a really fun, like overpowered megalomaniac when he had the Orca booster. He's a fun guy, and I miss him as Shinken Red. I'm not gonna lie, I miss him as Shinken Red. I really hope that somehow he ends up being able to retain that and come back into like the team as like one of those auxiliary Red Rangers or something. I don't know. The actor is doing a fantastic job with this. But what I want to stress is that this character design was AI influenced. Parts of it were AI generated. And I know that uh, Tomatsu, I think I said that right, Tomatsu Shinohara was very proud of this design because you can see in his icon that he uses on these multiple platforms, there is Fire Candle's lapel symbol. We'll go back over and look at Fire Candle. There it is. So he really cared about these designs. These weren't things that he just pooped out, right? And he explains in his further messages here. He says, I was actually planning to let you know later, but I don't want you to misunderstand and link it to this incident. So I'm going to reveal it now. I have already announced my intention to step down from Gozyuger. 3 guest monsters will appear from now on, but that will be it. So even if you end up hating me, and he trails off on that one. He says, "Oh, there is no plan to move to Ryder either. Just to be clear, for some reason, I don't think I'll be asked to do it again." So a lot of people came out and just tore into him when he admitted that he used AI for this stuff. And when I say admitted, he wasn't ashamed of it. He came out and he's like, "I don't understand why everybody's mad about this." And this is how it went. Now, there are people telling me that he got fired, okay? And of course, this is just him explaining, what that was. And now this final tweet here um, was his explanation of how it went together. And so he says, however, although I had hoped to be able to show the interesting aspects of the difference in interpretation of generative AI, in reality, unless I made the effort to specify this, it only outputs something obvious. So in that sense, it was completely useless. So again, he's admitting that what he used the AI for was simply idea generation. That's all it was. It wasn't boop, 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 boop. Okay? But I'm told that there is no excuse for AI. So, Fire Candle, you guys have to hate him now because he was made with AI. He is a stolen character according to your ideology. That is a stolen character. Everyone involved in the production of that character, associated with bringing that character to life, should be fired from Toei for simply absconding with the responsibility of saying no. I won't work with stolen material. Right? Isn't that what they were supposed to do? I'm told that that's what the Ninja Kids are supposed to do. They were supposed to abandon their parents over this. You saw those posts. The Ninja Kids, if they didn't like the AI, they should have got away from it. They should have walked off. So how about Fire Candle and his actor? How about the Gozyugers themselves? They should have walked off. I'm sure they've interacted with other things that are AI generated by now. I bet if you go back through, you're going to find some things that are a little off. And perhaps those were created for the point of illustrating this is an AI generated world. Sure, that follows through. But to the people over here that are screaming their heads off at the Ninja Kids, that's not good enough. So, now that this information has come out and it's only happened yesterday, we do have some colorful characters that decided that it doesn't matter. Remember Ash? Remember Deoxy? He went out and decided to lambaste Ethan Fischreiber, the kid that's playing the White Ranger in Ninja Kids, because he said AI is becoming a part of media production faster and faster and will be more so in the future. That's what Ethan said. And Deoxy decided to paint him as a racist, bringing up a South Park episode in which Stan used an N-word in relationship to Ethan's metaphor about a child not wanting to try chocolate because he has a preconceived notion that brown foods are bad. And somehow, brown foods are bad translated to, time to paint this kid as a racist to Deoxy. That's how these people operate. That's their prerogative. That's what's good and righteous and smart, right? So now he's gone out and said, well, because I pirate Gozyuger, because I pirate Super Sentai, that's not the same as supporting theft. I'm stealing from the thief now. but I will tell other people to go out and watch my channel and my reviews of Gozyuger so I can continue to cash in on the theft that I am telling everybody about, right? Because he said all AI is theft, all of it. So now he's going to profit off that theft by making videos glazing the Gozyuger series. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny how like morals go out the window when you actually have to stand up and do something? When you actually have to mean it, when you actually have to follow through with those pesky things that you believe, those pesky things called principles. Boy, it does suck, doesn't it, Ash, when you have to be a man. But it goes on. He decided, oh, well, you know, it's all right for me to steal. It's all right for me to steal because I'm an Australian. All right, well, the guy that made the Ninja Kidz, he's Australian somehow. So is it okay now? No, of course not, because you want to be mad at them, but you don't want to be mad at Toei because you like Toei. You glaze Toei. You don't like the Ninja Kidz. You didn't even know they existed 3 weeks for a month ago. Sorry, pal. It's quite obvious that this is all just a click game for you, bud. This is all clout chasing, and now you got caught. Now Toei went and rug pulled you on your moral high ground. Now you've got to make a decision. Are you going to support theft as you've defined it and run around saying Gozyuger's so cool, and as more and more AI starts piling up in Sentai and Tokusatsu, because again, like I explained in the last video, it's not about money necessarily, it's about speed. Okay? Flat fact of the matter. It's about speed. Sorry. That's the main point why people use AI is because it's faster. That's it. Cheaper, certainly. That's a given. It's automated. You don't have to pay a computer to do that stuff. You have to pay a human to do that stuff. So that obviously is going to be cheaper. But the more precedent reason, the more important reason is that it's faster. And that's why it gets used. If you don't like that, I am sorry. The aeroplane is faster than the ocean liner getting from England to the United States. Okay? The car is faster at getting from Boston to San Diego than a horse and buggy on a wagon trail. This is called progress. Okay? Digital art was once the greatest threat to humanity. CGI was going to obliterate the ability for mankind to manifest anything with his own hands. This is just the latest in a long line of freakouts when a new technology shows up and revolutionizes how people can communicate ideas. I am not an artist. I am in no way a cinematographer, a director, a movie maker of any type. I'm a writer. I have a couple of published things. That's it. Okay? I don't profess to be anything magical or important because of the AI. That would be wrong. The AI is just a tool for me to tell my stories through. That's it. That's it. But you got Ash going on here and saying, you know, I'm going to continue pirating it, but that's not support. You see how slimy this is? You see how snaky this is? Ooh, you don't got me. I'm going to continue pirating it, which means I'm not giving them money, which means I'm not supporting theft. Yeah, but you are, because you're going to go spread that information out into the world and tell people Gozyuger's good and it's full of stolen stuff, you see. It's your own words, Deoxy. It's your own words. All AI is theft. And it's especially heinous in Tokusatsu. But yet, you're still going to go through the effort of tracking down these episodes, downloading them, or going to Tokuzilla and getting them. You're going to end up falling through into this and continuing to be a fan and spreading it around. Unlike what's going on with these people calling for the boycott of the Ninja Kidz. There's no boycott for Toei. I don't see anything anywhere where the people who worked on Gozyuger should be fired for the use of AI. But I saw a lot of that for the Ninja Kidz. I wonder why. Couldn't be any favoritism. So we got him again. He's mad that I called him out for trying to dress up Ethan Fischreiber as a racist, and that he didn't even hold true to the whole reason why he was supposedly mad at this kid. The whole crux of Deoxy's video was that Ethan said AI is the future. That was the whole crux of his video. That was the whole video that Deoxy made on this. That, Ethan, little buddy, friend, everyone's tearing you a new asshole, arsehole, whatever, because of this. That's what he said. Okay? Now the AI is not a problem. He's going to continue watching Gozyuger, even though it's got AI in it, and we'll likely have more and more AI present in it. So what do you want, right? What do you want, guys? That's right. You don't want to have to hold to your principles. You just want to enjoy your show and be mad about irrational things because you can do that. It's easier if you just come out and put a little bumper down at the bottom of your screen there, where you stole Hasbro's Power Ranger logo, right? I use it for my little parody videos. You're using it as a way to advertise yourself as a Power Ranger streamer. Did you ask permission to use Hasbro's logo or did you steal it? Weird. But anyway, you can replace that with a little sign that says, I am a drama queen for clout. I am a clout hunter. I am addicted to clout. You just put that right there for you. Just put that right there. It's just right under you, so that way people see your face and they go, oh, clout hunter. There we go. Perfect. Got to get that clout. You got to get that dopamine hit telling everybody else that you also don't like the thing. A lot of Super Sentai, a lot of tokusatsu in general, tells the story about not going along with the crowd. That maybe that the horde, the mob, might not have the most rational attitude. And then, of course, again, like this homophobia thing, it's another one of those things in their arsenal that they like to throw at people like, oh, you're homophobe. Well, here's one of them trying to get me mad, saying, BTW, tell your boyfriend Cider I said middle finger emoji. Oh, no. And this guy's trying to prove that it's not the same. He says right here, the guy was using AI was fired. We can't find any information that says that. I'm sorry, I looked. I couldn't find any direct information that said he was fired. There's plenty of information that says he stepped down. Because it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you fire a guy that did the design on, Fire Candle using AI as an assistant? It didn't just poop and there you go. You got your Bryden general anymore. No, it went through, like, he generated this, he generated that, bits and pieces came together, and then his own imagination fitted into what we have here. Okay, that's how that came to be. In my opinion, that's perfectly fine. But to Este, we can't have any AI. There's no excuse for it. Okay, that's the rule. You guys said it. That's the rule. But what's interesting is that they'll go back and they'll let all of this stuff happen here, where they're saying like, oh, he was fired. But all I can find here is where he's saying that he's going to step down. He's going to step down. That's it. There's no information about him just leaving the company at all. So, and in the end, this is what happens when you come back around to the TokuJay argument. Now, I know people have some soft feelings about TokuJay about this, okay? All right? Well, are you going to continue supporting Super Sentai now that they have stolen from artists? By your measure. Now that they have stolen from artists, are you going to continue supporting Super Sentai? You have a choice, because you can't do both. You can't support TokuJay saying real art and real artists matter and support Toei now that they're putting AI anywhere they can stick it. Okay? The choice is yours. I made my choice. When the AI showed up, I was among the first casualties of its rampant expansion. I'm the writer, like to write stuff. I use the AI to bring my stories to life, okay? Simple. But, right, that's sacrilege to these people. I had people try to threaten my life. In the last video, I showed you that they were like, we're going to post videos of people being violently shot down in response to your 1-minute Power Ranger video. Yeah. And those same people went after the Ninja Kidz. I can only imagine the hell that was brought down on those kids. Those young Power Ranger fans that might not be Power Ranger fans by the end of this because of the Power Rangers. That's what they are, the Power Rangers. These guys go out there and they go way too far with it. Way too far. You can say, I don't like AI and move on. But they had to turn it into an indictment against these kids. They had to turn it into an indictment against anybody who supports it. And now it's come to bite them in the ass. So what's it going to be? Are you going to support TokuJay and turn your back on Super Sentai? Is TokuJay going to turn his back on Super Sentai? Because if they did it with those cards, you can bet they're going to do it with other bigger things. They may have already done it. You think you're good at seeing AI stuff. I think I'm good at seeing AI stuff. But if it's advanced as far as Google and Sora are claiming it has, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. And again, we're in a stage right now with all of this that it doesn't really matter if you or I have anything to say one way or another about it, because the corporations just slow down, right? We'll slow down. Did you guys really think that a Japanese corporation was going to forego using a product, a technology that makes production shorter and also cheaper? Did you really think that? Was that a thought in your head because of ethics? Because of ethics. Really? Interesting. See, this is the future for them much faster than it is for us, because they have a workplace demographic problem. They don't have people to handle animation as much as they used to. They don't have people to handle the kind of special effects as they used to. These people have aged out or flatly don't exist in Japan anymore. Okay? So, what are we left with then? Okay? Right? They're going to push more AI in because it shortens production time and it lowers the budget. Moreover, it shortens production time. I know that the people aren't going to like that. I get it. I understand it. But the reality is that this is just the same as when digital art showed up and you didn't have to erase things or start your drawing over because an arm was wrong and you laid it in ink. You just go Control Z, Apple Z, whatever you prefer, and start that arm over again. And that made a world of difference in the speed of production. Being able to add 3D assets into the background in order to make consistency between environments possible. That was hated. People had many different pitchforks about that. I think like last year they were raising hell against Eric July about having 3D assets in his books. And those have been around 15 years at least. A little late to be mad about them. But what I'm trying to drive at, really, is that this massive overreaction to the Ninja Kidz just got its teeth knocked out. Hopefully, the cheerleaders of misery that went around doing this, the Power Rangers, hopefully they grow up a bit now that they've had the rug pulled out from underneath them on their moral high ground and are now tumbling down to common manville with the rest of us. Because guess what? You do have to admit now that you're not going to turn your back on Sentai and you're not going to give Ninja Kidz a chance. Because you have an internal bias. It's that simple. All you got to do is look into that camera and admit, I am not going to be fair because I like Super Sentai better. So they're allowed to use AI, but not these other people. That's all you got to do, Chief. You just got to let everybody know that you're a hypocrite, and then you just move on with your life, all right? That's all you got to do, Deoxy, is let everybody know that you're a filthy liar that made up things in order to smear a young actor and drive him out of the fandom, to shame him over a single line that you yourself don't even really feel in opposition to, but decided to cash in on it. I don't know, man. I don't live in a world where I have to go around and just invent problems. There's plenty of stuff for me to react to that's actually happening in the world that's pretty bad. A lot of stuff in Hollywood's gone sour. A lot of stuff in video games has gone sour. But guess what? I don't need to go inventing a whole racial epitaph about some random kid on the internet that you didn't know about a month ago. Okay? Gotta get those clicks, though. Right, Deoxy? Gotta get those clicks. All that clout, that juicy, juicy clout. Anyway, guys, you'll have to let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Again, I have no angst against TokuJay. All right. I'm only trying to drive a point here that if you're going to support him and his message about real artists and real art, you'd better stop engaging with Super Sentai and Toei because you won't be able to trust them not to drop more of that in there. They did it with Super Sentai. You bet your ass they'll be doing it with a lot of other things. Probably already have. But keep a cool head out there, guys, and good luck.